Can you see all the cars behind me? And it's amazing here. So far I love it. I just arrived late last night and this morning I got out and I'm checking out the city. So far I absolutely love it. It's beautiful here. Right above me is the Capitol. You see it? It's a replica of the United States Capitol in Washington, D.C. Okay, so I love it here. The people are so electric and full of life and just so vibrant and friendly. Like, and the men are very flirtatious.
Hola, good morning. Breakfast, coffee, sandwich.
They all smile and make eye contact, but not just the men, but everybody in general. Like, you just walk around, everybody says buenos dias. Like, I feel like back home nobody says anything to anybody. We never talk to other strangers, and they're so friendly here. I just love it. Check out, see that green car? Look at these cars, are amazing. There's that one, all these classic cars. So cool. It's like I stepped back into time. Curious what this statue is all about. I'm gonna find out. So that flower, she said that during the revolution, the ladies would wear a flower in their ear and they would put a message in the flower and it would be hidden. It's not painted, that's actually sand on the wall. So far my stay here in Cuba has been awesome. I'm booked here in a casa particular, which basically means it's a private home that I'm staying in. It's an Airbnb, and the reason why I came to Cuba is to support the Cuban people. So you're renting from a local Cuban who owns a home. Cuba's fascinating. It's just so different from everything that I'm used to, which is kind of what I'm looking for when I travel. I think what I really like about it is I'm kind of a people watcher when I travel, because I travel solo and I just like to observe and people watch. And I like their relationship with each other. Like, there seems to be like a close-knit community, a strong sense of community, and everybody's super friendly here. Yeah, so this is day 1. Tomorrow I'm trying to go to Vinales, so I'm gonna try to book that and see how that goes. Vinales is kind of more like countryside. And then the day after that I'm going to a city I think called Fernando, for something, I don't really know. I'm gonna go and I'll film that was like more like a beach side over there. So today was the epic fail. I was supposed to go on a tour to Vinales. I had my phone set as my alarm clock, and my phone was on airplane mode. So the last city that I was in before I flew to Cuba was in Texas. And so it was set to Texas time, and I didn't realize that. So they're 1 hour behind us. So I got ready. I came to the hotel to get my tour bus, and obviously I was an hour late, and it already left without me. And it, you know, it's too late. They couldn't come back to get me. But it is what it is. I can't change it, and I can't go tomorrow because I already have plans to a different city. So I won't get to check out Vinales, which I'm so bummed about, but I made the most of it, and I took a city tour around Havana today. It's Che Guevara's house.
¿De bebés le puede ir adaptando la bebida al señor? Sí.
I definitely want to recommend that you stay in a casa particular. And what that means is you are staying in an Airbnb that's privately owned by a Cuban local person. Because anytime you stay in a hotel, you're supporting the government. And I think it's important that we support the Cuban people. Not only does it support them, but you get a more genuine and authentic experience to see how the local Cuban people live, for 2. And for 3, it's way more affordable. And I have this full studio to myself. Like, I can't even believe it, because I think I only paid like, what was it? Like $22 US to stay here. And it's super nice. I also want to talk a little bit about what I learned today. I went on a tour, and I went on a tour yesterday, but it was all in Spanish. So today I went on another tour, and it was in English, so I kind of learned a lot. And I was told that the Cuban people, the typical Cuban person, will make 20 CUC a month, and a doctor will make 40 CUC a month. It's kind of crazy if you think about it. And all the education here is free, even the colleges, it's free for the Cuban people. And I also learned that the Cuban people like the American people. And it's really the governments that are kind of bumping heads. It's not the people of the country. So if you're thinking about coming to Cuba, I highly recommend it. It's definitely one of my favorite places by far. I'm now in a city called Mantanzas, which is right on the outside of Veranada. I hope I'm saying that word right, because for some reason, for the life of me, I cannot remember that name. And it took me 3 hours, a 3-hour bus ride to get from Havana to here. And I booked, again, a casa particular, and I absolutely love it. It's like the cutest studio, and the hosts, they are so kind. So I arrived at the bus stop, and then I took a cab to get to Mantanzas, and then my host came to greet me, and he picked me up. He drove me all around, showed me the beach area, showed me the restaurants. So they live downstairs, and then they just renovated the studio up here. It is too cute. It's brand new. I mean, newly renovated, I mean. So I basically am here by myself. I have my own little studio. I have this bedroom. I have a little kitchen in there. I have a bathroom. There's AC in here. I'm gonna show you around. What they greeted me with. Is that not the cutest thing you ever did see? And so you can order breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and they'll cook it downstairs in the kitchen, and I can just eat here. And it's such a different, I love it, like I love it. It's such a different feel from staying in a hotel. Like, you know, you just really get a sense of what it's like as a local, because you're staying in a local area. There's not hotels. It's like literally a neighborhood. You're staying in a house here, in a studio here inside of their house. You see how they live. You get to meet the people, eat the food that they cook. Like, I'm so stoked. So. Okay, so I just got here to the beach. This beach is stunning, and there's nobody here. There's all of 5 people total on the beach, and there's 1 person snorkeling in the water. It's amazing here. So beautiful. And I learned that here in Cuba they don't have any surfing because basically there's no waves here. Today's my last day here in Cuba, and I actually should be on the way to the airport, and I'm over here playing tourist. But there's just so many cool things to check out. So I'm not sure if you can see it, but behind me, see that fort? On that side, they created a fort to protect themselves from piracy, and this is during the 15th and 16th century. That's what I learned through my tour guide. And also up there is where Che Guevara's house is. And right now I'm in a fort. I'll show you guys the fort. So I made it to the airport just in time. I was cutting it way too close. I've been really searching for the Che Guevara peso. So there's 2 types of pesos here in Cuba. There's the CUC, which is for the tourists, which is obviously what I was using. And then there's also another type of currency, which is also pesos, but for the locals. And the local pesos, their $3 bill has a picture of Che Guevara, and I wanted it so badly, but I was just having such a hard time finding it. Is that not the coolest bill you ever did see? I know it is. I know it is. The taxi drivers were so nice. Like, I told them that I wanted it, so they kept working to get it. Like, and one taxi driver pulled up to a red light and asked the guy next to him if he had it, and he did. And we pulled over, and then they exchanged it. It was so nice of them, and they didn't even charge me. They just gave it to me as a gift. I thought it was so nice of them. Thank you for being so good to me. I love you, Cuba. Bye. Okay, so I arrived in Florida, but that was cool. It's only like less than an hour flight from Havana to Florida. Okay, so 1 down, 3 more to go. So I go from Havana to Florida, Florida to Vegas, Vegas to LA, LA to Honolulu. I've arrived to Vegas. It is midnight. My flight to LA leaves at 6 a.m. so I got 5 hours. And it's like a ghost town in this airport right now. Look at nobody. Yeah, but it's freezing here in Vegas. And I forgot, because I live in Hawaii and I was born in Cuba, and I forgot that in certain parts of the world it's freezing right now. So I'm in LA now, and I've taken 3 of my 4 flights, and I have my last flight to go, and I'll be home. And I can't wait. I'm exhausted. I'm finally home. It took 7 flights to get there to Cuba and back home. And thank the Lord, I am home safely. I had a wonderful time. Super stoked I got to go. Okay, so back to the statue. The statue is taking sexism and turning it on its head, because typically statues have a male on an animal, usually a horse, and he's holding a weapon, a gun or a sword or a knife. And as you can see in this statue, it's the opposite of that. It's a woman sitting on a rooster. The rooster represents a man, and she's holding the fork, which is symbolic of power. I love this whole piece. It's so awesome.